Hi, my name is Carlos Schaefer, and welcome to the back nine at Moraine State Park.
And welcome back to the back nine. Terry Miller, the disc golf guy, joined by Sara Lamberson, runner-up of the 2014 Am Worlds.
That's correct.
One of your many titles. Well, here
One of
you
my
are.
few titles. Yeah.
Here you are at the National Tour event in Moraine State Park, and it looks like you had a really good, solid opening to the front nine.
I did. Yeah, I was a couple under par. I think I only had my first bogey on hole 9. Was feeling pretty good going into the back nine. Especially with this drive, I had a great drive.
It really is. For a right-handed backhand player, you want to throw it straight up the middle, maybe have it get up the hill as it tails off to the left or dog legs to the left. Not exactly a friend of Sandi Hendel's here.
No, this is a tough lefty shot, I'd say, if you're throwing backhand.
And she opts to just pitch out, and I wish she would have thrown it a little bit further to give herself a better angle. She goes with the turnover, but fighting a turnover uphill has plenty of challenges. I think you're going to try the same, a turnover uphill.
I did, and just threw it into the ground.
Uphill being the operative word there.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you...
I did not gain very many feet on that throw, unfortunately.
And what a beautiful shot by
That was
Catrina
amazing.
Allen. She could not have thrown that any better.
No, it was beautiful. Ooh, and Paige just snuck by that tree.
Here you are on the left side throwing your third shot, and
That might have been the greasiest
you
shot
asked
from the woods.
you asked for a cut roll there, but it looks like you just kind of got a good skip.
Yeah, it put me about 15 or 18 feet from the basket, so I was pretty happy when I got up there to see that.
Now, Sandy's been left and right of the fairway and just outside circle.
Got it.
Boom. It is never too late for an outside the circle putt, whether it's for par or bogey or double bogey, it doesn't matter. It's always great to put in a long putt like that.
Ooh.
And Paige, who's had a pretty solid putting stroke here in the morning thus far, looks like she's going to continue it on as we move into the back nine.
I was pretty excited to save my 4 on this hole.
Yeah, you kind of gave one away during your second shot, so you still got up and down. That's a par, and we saw Paige drop in as well as Cat. Solid birdies.
This is another hole that you definitely are going for. 300 feet, a range that we can all hit. Quite a few trees, a little tunnel shot off the tee, but no reason why we can't all put it in the circle.
A little homegirl route there by Catrina Allen, and Paige says, "Oh yeah, I'll follow that route." And she got off the tee and said twinsies or something of that nature. They were right next to one another. And you're keeping this one low.
Did not put it in the air, but put it just outside the circle, so.
You have a good look from there. And she needed a little turnover there by Sandi.
Tough little approach shot from behind that tree, but executes very well. We'll see if I make it. Oh, no.
So I'll follow that up and say, what is your favorite range to be putting from? Of course, you always want to be close, but...
3 feet?
Okay.
No, just kidding. I practice... Consistently, I probably practice my 20-footers.
Boom.
That was a great putt by Kat.
20-footers are where you're most comfortable, and you love to get inside that range. Catrina here, super approach on 9 and a great putt on 10. Sandi says, I'll follow up the putt on 10 with a solid putt here. And Paige, who just tickled the chain, she's left herself a tester. No problem. And we'll watch you tap in. And we're going to move to one of the most challenging holes that we'll find out on the course, hole 12. Hole number 12 at 567 feet.
It's a difficult hole off the tee.
And we just heard Kat say, well, now we pray.
Yeah.
Because really, you're just trying to hit that line, the line that Kat hit, the line that we just saw Paige hit. You want to hit that line, and you're going to hope you can get as far as you possibly can. There is a mando tree to the right that you really shouldn't be going anywhere near.
Yeah.
And your line looked pretty good as well. Maybe not quite as far.
I got a little skinny on the left there. I didn't put it out wide enough, and you could actually hear me hit a tree.
And then, again, another very difficult hole for a lefty.
Yeah, it's one of those holes that it's a placement shot off the tee, but you can't see where you need to land because you want to get right in front of this little line of trees and be able to throw up this gap. I had to lay up to the gap, and still quite a shot to the basket, and grabbed another tree there.
Yeah, roughly the first 300 feet of this hole is open. That's what we saw off the tee. And now you're just trying to get through here, and Kat loves this.
Mm-hmm.
She said she was just happy to be as far as she was after 2 shots to be already in this gap. And Paige had a great drive and then a very difficult stance there. And the lefties trying to play both sides of the fairway here. This hole is very challenging.
It is.
With the rotation she puts on.
A lot of little gaps to hit, but a lot of trees. Definitely the hole that ate my lunch today.
You had gone past the basket, throwing from low and behind it.
Yep.
What a solid run by Pierce. She's had a number of good-looking jump putts this morning, and that one almost pulled it in. This is Kat for 3. Wow, what a putt.
That was huge from the rough over there.
Kat getting things going here on this back half. She's got to fight through a little bit of the roughage on that left side.
Oh, yeah.
Outside the circle, downhill with a drop-off, and Kat rings it up.
I was hoping to do the same, but just a bit short.
The sun is trying to poke through as Paige is going to walk away with her 4.
Whoopsie.
Got a rummage sale going on here? What are you doing?
Always.
Getting everything out. We've got a tight gap to hit on the next hole. We'll see you then. You're moving over to 13, which has a very, very narrow fairway. Maybe the tightest fairway on the course that we see.
Definitely. And not only do you need to get down there, but you also need to turn it over at the end. Just about what Paige did.
I believe that's a putter from Paige Pierce.
Yeah.
Trying to make it look easy. This is one of the shorter holes that we'll see, but again, plenty of obstacles.
I'd say it plays more like 300 also. I'm not sure if it's the trees. There might be a little bit of elevation change up there, but I was definitely throwing a full-out driver on this hole.
And if you're off the fairway here, the best you can hope for is to have a line at the basket, and then you just need to execute so you can get up and down, and just moving along with a 3 is perfectly fine.
Oh, yeah.
Sandi's put herself up right next to the pin. Here comes another forehand approach. That looks to be effective. And Paige with the birdie look and convert. Solid birdie by Pierce.
You can see a couple of our little fans over there.
They were out enjoying it. Carla, who opened the show, it's her birthday today.
That's right.
I think she said she celebrated her 13th birthday. She watches lots of videos. You're out there doing some kind of Irish jig or something, running all around. I'm not sure what you got going on there. So happy birthday and glad you're out enjoying the golf.
I'm Catrina Allen, and I want to thank Soulflight for helping support the women's coverage.
So after a very tight and wooded hole number 13, you've got a few less trees here, but we're going to pick up nearly double the distance. This hole is pushing more than 400 feet. And like we saw back a few holes ago, you really have to place yourself if you want to attack this pin.
Yeah, it's good to get back in the open a little bit, but there's still so many treacherous trees on this hole and every hole.
There are a number of them. They keep jumping out at everyone. You're really trying to go up the gap that you're throwing toward and just have it finish to the left. That seems to be a really good shot.
I threw that a bit high. I was kind of worried it was going to get caught up in that tree, but it ended pretty successfully for me.
Sandy says she'd like to meet another tree. Unfortunately, they're everywhere out here. Kat's going to get a little risky. And unfortunately, it just didn't stand up for her. She knew that she had just the wrong angle, unfortunately.
And this is a tough approach shot.
Thanks.
Lots of skinny trees to get through. Lots of little gaps. And Paige executes perfectly.
Making it look easy.
Yeah.
We're going to see a longer pin for sure on this hole as well throughout the rest of the weekend. I know it was pushed back a few years ago for the World Championships. I think it's going to add at least another 100, maybe 150 feet to this pin.
Ooh, good run.
You've got a longer look.
Put a little short again that time. Hoping to pick some of those up tomorrow.
Paige is going to move on with the birdie. We're going to move to the most scenic view that you'll find at this course. It's a beautiful park. I believe 1,600 acres, or 16,000 or 16 million. I don't know. We're moving on to hole 15 though.
I love this hole.
It's impossible not to. And also, one of the filming locations, we see Paige's go up and over the hillside on the right, where you see the PDGA commercial was actually shot here throughout this hole. Paul Macbeth and a few of the other players. And Paul says it's his job.
Yep.
And he's trying to do work out here for sure, as you guys are.
It's nice just to air it out on this hole after some of those really tight holes. But there is some OB on the left. There's a road. Sandy gets safe, fortunately, and there is some sneaky OB over there on the right where it gets really rough down in the woods. But we all ended up safe, so.
Placing yourself on top of this hill, and now you're going to throw down, and this hole doesn't set up real well for Sandy's approach shot. This sets up much better for a righty, as you'll see it right there on the left side of your screen. Kat's in a great position, and I've got to say I was a little bit shocked by this. I thought that she would play it a little bit wider, maybe even go with more of a spike hyzer, and that one seemed to just float away on her.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it ends up being too far away from the basket. She's still got to putt at it, but a little over there in the rough.
And a misfire by Pierce, who was on the right side, and you couldn't have placed yourself really any better.
Oh, I was so happy.
What a great drive, and then you just too much muscle.
I thought I was going to hit right under the basket and finally three this for the first time in my life, but I ended up putting it about 40 feet away from the basket. Have quite the comebacker.
See if Paige's, I swear she's going to convert on one of these long lunging jump putts. Kat has a really good look, and that's usually something that we'd see Kat either draw medal or even put in. There's a jump putt and a little too much mustard on that one as well.
Yep. Theme of the day.
What's your favorite item to put mustard on?
Probably veggie sausages.
All right. I'd go pretzel, but I guess that's a healthy alternative.
All right.
And a very daunting, yeah, you were just going to say it, very daunting hole 16.
It is. It's a very interesting drive. You got to keep it in the middle, keep it low, but then you also want to get over this little dirt hump right here. I mean, actually, where Kat landed is pretty perfect.
If you do not get up on top of the hillside, you're forced to throw your second shot with the nose up, and that makes everything a lot more challenging.
Yeah.
Especially when you see the hundreds of trees that are still between you and the basket right now, and that's a kick when you're down, unfortunately for Sandi. That is a really tough kick to the right side. And now here you are throwing up to the hillside. I moved my position.
I was actually, so I threw a putter right there, and I was actually just trying to put it out in the middle, just lay it up into the grassy area, and didn't commit. Hit a tree.
Sandi got a double kick there on her third shot.
And this is me throwing a forehand driver, which you don't see very often.
Well, I think you said you're in trouble if that's happening, so.
Yep.
Paige not with the release she wanted. That hits a tree. Not surprising with how many trees are still in this fairway. And a little trickery here by Kat. I love, again, the aggressive play. And that just keeps rolling.
This was amazing. Ooh.
Sandi's not wanting to take any of these trees back to Canada with her, that's for sure. Looks
That
like
was
you're...
a failed attempt at a skip shot. This hole was just beat me up at this point.
I think it can beat up just about anyone and everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, and a huge running putt there by Paige, and it looks like you just had to lay this one up, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, unless I wanted to go for it between the two little trees and put it down the hill.
Sandi from Circle's Edge.
This was a great putt. If she didn't hit metal, she would have been sailing down that hill.
She said, I'm done with this hole, enough trees. I'm just going to find the bottom of the basket. And Kat is putting for an eagle 3 from inside the circle.
Wow.
That was perfect.
It was.
It was awesome. The whole time I was just thinking how much I wanted that to go in because I wanted to see the eagle 3. And working it hard from one knee with a drop off behind her. Very impressive. Paige still has a look at birdie here.
That was a great putt.
It was uphill, a little off balance. Just a few to play. And after 16, did its number, a 3, a 4, a 6, and a 6, proving just how tough it is. And 17, what's it like on the tee? I was kind of standing mid-fairway. What does that tee shot look as you're standing over there?
I mean, this is a hole that we should all be able to get in there. It's a sloping right to left fairway and lots of trees once you approach the basket, but I mean, 267 reachable for all of us.
And after seeing both Paige and Kat not turn theirs over at all, you put a really good move on it and got a nice turnover there.
Yeah, I think we all got pretty close to the circle on this.
Sandi's is just a bit
Little
short
bit
and
short.
left, but ultimately it looks like you're going to be closest. And I think there was a conversation as to if you were going to go or if Paige and Kat were going to go. And you guys were about the same. Kat does not have a look there. And Paige says, well, maybe if I go a little bit lower.
This was definitely the putt of the day.
For sure. I had an extra camera out. We're going to move it in super slow-mo. She says it doesn't feel great, but it was worth it. Here comes the super slow-mo.
Somehow she continues to watch the putt as she's face planting. I think that was a feat in itself.
What a putt by Pierce. Loving it from just outside the circle. The rest of the group going to clean up.
I don't even know how I could follow that.
A couple of pars to follow that up after Paige's huge birdie. We're going to move on. Final hole 18 on deck.
Now this is an intimidating tee shot.
It is. You have a tight gap. You have OB, and Paige wants something crazy to happen. Unfortunately, not the release point she was looking for. And Cat just
Perfect.
pures this.
I'd say it's about 300 feet to the OB. And maybe if there were some wind or iffy conditions, I might just pull out a mid-range and just lay it up. But I was feeling pretty good about this. Decided to go for it and hyzered out a little bit early, but
Green
luckily
flag,
stayed
you're in bounds.
I did, yes.
So Canadian of her. She's
sorry.
she's so worried about hitting the spotter. She hits
Yeah.
the green flag. It's like she didn't care about her game. She was concerned about hitting the spotter. And Paige, a little bit high and tight on the roughage up there, but it kicks her down still near the basket.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a tough shot from the drop zone too.
And you didn't have a lot from over there, and unfortunately it results in the red flag. One of our new fans and followers taking in the action. Again, his sister, Carla, turning 13 today. Happy birthday. Said this is the first tournament they've ever come out to watch.
Aw, I didn't know
Well, they've
that.
watched it on YouTube, but this is their first tournament they've ever come out to watch.
They say they throw nice putt. They
Great
throw
putt.
Innova and Discmania.
Okay. And Paige is going to walk away with a 4. She had to work for it. Sandi, another solid putt to finish off her round. And Sarah, I got to say thank you to you for the round this morning, and thanks for joining me on the commentary. Hope you had fun.
You're welcome. That was a great time.
And here's a pro move that I made sure to leave in. They had just announced Ricky Wysocki to tee off, and Catrina's waiting for Wysocki to get his tee shot off and then taps it in. It's a friendly pro move as she walks away with the birdie. Thanks to our supporters and sponsors.